Hello, peoples, and welcome back to episode 41 of the Culture Cast. As you can see, I'm here by myself at the moment. Bruno, the son of a bitch, is on holidays. He has gone to Mexico, so God knows if he will make it back alive or not. Or he could be taken somewhere dark and quiet. And yeah, let's not go there. He could be on the next Narcos. You never know, guys. And Tubbs is currently being held hostage by three miniature people. So he could be on the next half an hour, or you could be stuck with me, guys, I'm afraid. So, yeah. So how is everybody? Let us know. Connor, you can... Connor, you can go fuck yourself, my friend. I'm only kidding. But yeah. So yeah, the competition link is there if you haven't entered my competition. I will show you, like, I was a bit fuzzy on exactly what you're getting for winning the competition. I will show that in a minute. So stick around, as Arnie would say. Hey, Brian, Damien, Connor, and me. Yeah, sorry. Hi, Jonathan. How are you? Hi, Damien. Let's go through the rest of the comments. It's one for me. Don't forget to enter my competition. You all have entered anyway so far, guys, which is awesome. And Damien says, evening all. If Bruno could... Yeah, Bruno is not doing no one favors tonight, probably. But he has a new Scareglow and Stinkor in the background. Cheers, Bruno. If can, a small task. I will make him do it next week. Damien, for definite. Yeah, Dan, that's okay. Have you seen any of the Wave 4 Master of the Universe in stores? No, not yet over here. I haven't even seen Wave 3 over here yet. Yeah. So, hey, Brian. We'll keep you going, Brian. Thank you, Damien. You can try. Connor. Yeah, fuck you, Connor. Mick, how are you, my friend? Jonathan Redmond, Damien. Yo. Hi, all. I always wonder who this all person that everyone always says hello to. Connor, hey, Mick, James. How are you, James? Good to have you on. Sup, Mick? Hey, James. Sleepy Collectibles, howdy. Man, I am loving your TikTok channel. It's excellent. I'm really enjoying it. I just followed you there the other day on it. And like finding stuff under those panels in the shops, it's crazy that people hide stuff under there and stuff. They wouldn't do it here for one reason or another. I don't know why. I went to Tesco's the next day now and I lift up the panels underneath and see if there's anything there. So, what I am giving away in the competition, some bits and pieces, because I know it wasn't exactly fully clear what I'm giving away. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm giving away is like little bits and pieces. It'll be all in one box, like a gift box. So there might be a graphic novel in there. There might be a pop in there. But the main things are this it's a SH Figure Arts Vegeta. Now, the only thing with this, I'm not sure if it's a knockoff or not, but I've never opened it because I do have this figure myself, but it has been opened, as you can see there. Not by me. It was given to me as a present as well. So I am passing it on. So that's one thing, SH Figure Arts Vegeta. If it is, like, these are great figures anyway, so you're going to have fun with those. So that's one thing. Just catch up with the comments. Jonathan, man, the way shipping has been the last few months, I've no bleeding way what figures are in a wave details. Yeah, the Hasbro stuff is all over the shop, isn't it, really? Everyone else just saying hello to Scuba Pete, welcome to the show, my friend. Brian, we don't hide our stuff mostly because we're not mental. Well, that's true. We don't get enough stuff over here to hide anyway. So the next three figures, they're all from Big Bang Comics. Now, there is this Marvel Legends Icarus. It is brand new, but the packaging got into a fight with the local mailman's dog or something. I don't know. But I haven't touched it. It's inside. It's perfect. But that's one thing. There is this Marvel Legends What If T'Challa. Absolutely perfect. Brand new. Good figure. And there is this Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure, Spider-Man Retro Series Sandman figure. Absolutely, the card is a little bent, but other than that, it's perfect. So yeah, I have this figure myself. It's a fantastic figure and definitely a worthy addition to any collection. And of course, there'll be other little bits and pieces. Maybe this guy, a few other things thrown in there as well. So that's what's on offer for the competition. There will be one winner. One winner takes it all. Winner takes it all. That popular song. Yeah, you can sing it. So, yeah. We'd find it, John. Yeah, well, we probably would. If we were looking for something specific, we'd definitely find it. So, yeah, Connor, wow, Sandman figure is awesome. Yes, I do have it there somewhere, and I'm not reaching for it because my shoulder is fucked. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a great figure, and Sound to Big Bang Comics for sorting some of those for me. Yeah, so we usually do show and tell this week. That was my show and tell because I've gotten nothing. The rest of my stuff will be coming at Christmas at this stage. So yeah, I've been saving for that. So how is everybody else on this fine Sunday evening, all the Lewis Hamilton haters? Formula One, that's the new bandwagon everyone's jumped on lately. What did you think of that? Also, I want to thank everyone that shared my post, liked it, commented it. I've had over let's look now. I've had so many comments on it. Something like 40 odd to 50 entrants. So that is crazy. So many good people. Hey all. Jonathan, exactly, Mick. I think only the Black Series EU Mall was tricky track down over here, and to be fair, I did wait ages before trying to pick him up. Connor says, I got nothing this week either. Didn't you get that G.I. Joe figure whose name escapes me at the moment? Not Heavy Duty. Roadblock, that's it. Connor got Roadblock. I know you did. But I have been I took this down from the shelf the other day and I've been messing around with it ever since because I was I was making my top 10 figures of the year, and this guy is he's just untouchable. He's brilliant. He's one of my favorite figures of the year so far, and I'm delighted that they're doing a Marvel Zombie show because that means hopefully they will do the rest of the Marvel's Avengers. Connor, nope. My mouth is closed. Scuba just got color changing Zartan this morning. Oh, sweet. That looks like a great package. So many accessories and stuff with him as well. Jonathan got Bad Batch Rex, K2SO, and new windows for the house. Windows, you gotta have windows. Keeps criminals out. And the wind. I gotta ask though, you didn't lose windows because of the storm during the week, did you? Or is it just a long-term thing? Damien says, on a bit of Ghostbusters binge just now, just one on eBay. Diamond Select, Terror Dog, Slimer, and Gozer, who were really expensive to find, but got all three for £70. I actually remember, was it last year or the year before? Last year or the year before, they were all at B&M. As far as I know, there was a big push on those at B&M, but they were easy to get for a long time, then they just vanished. James said, I decided to buy the Batman White Knight motorcycle. I think Bruno got it a few weeks ago. It's excellent. Nice. Mick, you're just such a cunt. I love it. That was just amazing. Windows 11. Scuba Pete, always beautiful. Seriously thinking of chasing him down. Windows, keep those bastard squirrels out. I have never seen a squirrel in Ireland until last year. I always thought we didn't have them, and I live in the sticks in the middle of nowhere, and I've actually never seen one until last year. He's really great. Bonus. I'm super cold this morning when he delivered. He was blue. That is so cool. I love that. Do you remember, guys, when there was a Toy Biz Iceman in the early 90s that you could put it in the freezer and he came out all white? It was kind of a similar gimmick to that. Had him as well. That was really class. No Brian, no storm damage, did no damage here. Just plan to upgrade them. Oh, that's good then. I had a little bit of fence damage, but it's fine. And it's weird, we've no tubs to lower the tone tonight, so I'm going to have to think of something. Brie Larson, something, cunt. Brie Larson, dirty bastard, cunt. There we go. Get real, make Windows 10 for life in this house, or at least in those pricks fix all the shit that's wrong with it. Meow sent a chicken, you guys. Death by doggies. Where's Bruno? Bruno is off on his holidays, Mick. He's over in Mexico, so hopefully he won't be the star of the next Narcos series or anything. I hope he makes it back in one piece. Patrick Tate says Tech. Discotheque? I don't know. But yeah, Tech. The hole in my shed got bigger after the storm. Yeah, that's just what happened. That's what happened. My fence, it kind of was fucked already, and now it's just a little bit more fucked. So, Mr. Bot. So let's get rid of this guy. Block user. Nice one for the heads up, Connor. And Mick Holland, Jono! Death by doggies. So, guys, let's talk a little bit about some stuff this week. Bruno will get a nice cavity search when he arrives in the UK. Yeah, he'll be taking a fine big shit after that. We could have done a short slot talking about RGBs and what ghosts could be great in figure form. The real Ghostbusters. I know you're asking me for weeks, so I actually want to, before we do this slot, I want to go back and actually research it so I can actually converse properly without sounding like a complete idiot talking about something I don't know a whole lot about. So when we come back in January, that'll be the first thing on the agenda, Damien. This week, though, there's been a new Star Wars game announced, guys, and I know some of you will be interested in that. It's Star Wars Eclipse. Have you guys seen the trailer for that? Thoughts, perhaps? Ooh, we've got a banner now. So Star Wars Eclipse. Yeah, that maybe. Yeah, Damien, I definitely want to talk about, and I still haven't seen the actual Ghostbusters movie, so I do want to dedicate a whole slot to the franchise as a whole, so that would be better. A hole or a skylight. A skylight can be good. Use it as a chimney. But yeah, Star Wars Eclipse coming out on PS5 and Xbox and all those things in the next 4 years, I would say, the way games are developed nowadays. But it's made by the people who make have any of you guys played Fahrenheit or Beyond Two Souls or Detroit Become Human? Yeah, Jonathan, the new Star Wars trailer felt very heavy Dune vibes. It's the aliens, dum 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 dum, and the guy coming up out of the goo is very Dune. All right, I have to say that you're spot on there. But I will say it's taken place in the High Republic, which is this new comic they're pushing at the moment, and I like the previous games the guys that are developing have done. Detroit Become Human is a fantastic game on PS4 and the multi-choice game. So they're very much like those interactive movies. So who knows? Like, it could be good, it could be bad. We don't know. But I'm excited to see what they do with it. And the Game Awards threw up other stuff as well. Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm playing at the moment, won best game narrative of the year, which shocked me to my core when I bought it, because it's made by the same developers as Marvel's Avengers, and that was just a shit show of a game. Absolutely shite. And yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is 10 times better. It's single player focus, and it's actually really funny, and the levels are great, and it's a lot of crack. Damien said, ugly big hole, Jonathan Redmond. Mick, are you still talking about fences here? Or are we talking about Brie Larson now? Any good? Tubs? An ugly big hole. My favorite Star Wars game, without a doubt, is Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi and the SNES. Yes, they were great, but they were bastard hard. You'd want like nerves of steel to play those games, because if I was playing it nowadays, the controller, the console, the TV, it would all go out the window in frustration for sure for me. And guys, if any of you want to come on here and chat with me, I'll drop the link. And so let's do this. So if any of you want to come on, there's the link. StreamYard. Yeah, Jonathan, it's really good fun. There's something like 16 chapters on it. I think I'm on chapter 11. And yeah, like the characters are like a weird amalgamation of the comics and the movies, but they have all the sass. Who says sass? They've all the smart ass stuff of the movies as well. And it's a lot of fun. Like there's some characters in it you wouldn't expect. There's some characters in it look like other characters. Without spoiling it too much, yeah, it's lots of fun, and the banter's great crack between the. Whoa, Mick's gonna jump on. Nice one. And as always, guys, the door is always open for anyone to jump on if they want. The Emperor was a tough bastard to beat. I never got that far, Damien, because those games are wow, they're so hard. Connor says, wait, there's other games other than FIFA? There's a whole brand new world out there, Connor. FIFA is utter shite, especially this year. 8 out of 10 pre-arts and misogyny, you'll never beat Tubbs. It's a fairly low bar to jump if you're Tubbs. But yeah. I like Brie Larson. I don't know. I don't get why he's so angry. I think he's jealous that he's she takes his acting roles because she's taller. What the fuck? No Tubbs or Bruno, and we're getting sass. Golly gee, Brian, this stream is sure taking a turn. Well, maybe I'm just classier, Janet. How about that? Make a whole new world order, you might say. Damien, how about the Lego Star Wars games? I will say the one thing about the Lego Star Wars games is they're so similar. Every single one of them are all the same. I played Lego DC Villains, is it? The newest one there lately, and I got through one level, and I know it's DC because I should expect shite, but just every game is the same thing. Break things, get Lego studs, break things, do puzzle, boring, really, really boring. But yeah. So guys, I also have on the schedule. Sonic 2. Have any of you seen the trailers for that? Oh, hold on. A new contender has entered the arena. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Brian.
And welcome to the Culture Cast.
Thank you very much. I couldn't sit here and leave you on your own.
I have suffered many times.
Exactly. Look, hold on. Give me 10 seconds. I just need to sort out my volume here. And apparently I have to leave the other one because I'm hearing myself from 10 seconds ago, and it's terrifying.
Echo.
Not
worse than your own voice.
Yes. So I was thinking, since Bruno and Tubbs aren't here, I'll create an amalgam personality, and you can just call me Brubs. Brubs or
Tubo.
Tubo. Let's have a vote. Have a vote in chat. Am I going to be Brubs or Tubo?
So, guys, you heard him. Brubs or Tuno, you decide.
You decide. And the personalities will be different either way. I'm not going to say which side gets them.
If I've learned anything on this, you don't let the chat decide anything.
Hello, everybody in the chat. It's very strange being on this side.
So, guys, this is Mick Leonard. I'm not sure which side. He runs a podcast. You tell him. You plug
I
away.
do. I have. I run a little podcast studio with my friend Ben. We're called Shomer Bjug, and we have a couple of podcasts. We do a pop culture one, which is very similar to this in many ways, but less live, and therefore, I often we record it on Sunday mornings, so we usually have the same conversations as you guys have here on Sunday night. And then you scoop us every week because we don't release it until Monday morning. So every night I'm thinking, oh, people are going to think I stole Brian's jokes. We do a couple of others as well. We have a Collecting Issues, which is a comic book club that we've been doing for a couple of years.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's what we do. I'm a toy guy. I'm a toy collector. That's my main thing, as you can probably tell.
Yes, I love it.
So I'm mostly a toys and comics guy, bit of retro gaming, and big MCU guy as well.
Oh, we have another.
Oh, who we got?
We have another challenger.
Oh,
Jonathan.
this is very exciting.
How are you, my friend?
Good evening, gentlemen. How's it
Hello,
going?
how are you?
Is that volume okay? I'm not blowing anyone's earphones or...
No, that's
ideal.
Sounds good to me, man.
Grand.
Jonathan,
Hello, Brian.
do you want to
Hello,
be Bruno or Tubbs?
I think I'll do Bruno. It's less likely to get me a prison sentence.
Fair enough. I'll be Tubbs then. Hold on a second.
You react down a bit.
I tell you what, lads, fuck women. Get rid of them. Especially Brie Larson, but not limited to. This isn't recorded, is it? He's not going to see this.
Oh, look, the Transformer's even taller than you.
That's my baby. That's Omega Supreme. He's my biggest boy.
So, how is everybody?
Oh, good here.
Good. So I will just go back through the comments out because I missed it with all this madness. And Mick
Too much
says,
excitement now.
I know, overexcitement. I may need to go to bed early. Small man syndrome or Tubbs has, sad to see. Damien, good customizing the characters though. Yeah, Lego Star Wars. Oh, I don't know. Have you guys played Lego Star Wars?
I played the first one.
I think you
Pretty
played
much
them all.
start to
Then.
finish.
I've played the first few. They're fun, but you kind of get bored of them after a while, like, 2 or 3 games in.
Yeah. They're all kind of the same, like, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mick. Hi, Mick.
Hi, Mick.
It's a mix, whatever.
It's a mix-up.
Too many mix.
Mick, do you want to do a podcast together? We can do a mix culture cast.
Damien and the new contender, has given us some cool background toys. You'll have to give us a small tour, Mick.
Well, actually, you know what? I kind of the reason Brian and I know each other is because from doing room tours of our toy rooms. So there is actually a very long video on Brian's channel there, probably from your first year, Brian, right?
It was last summer, or the summer before, even.
Might have been. Who knows what time means anymore?
Yeah, because I was doing, I started out doing these pop culture interviews where I interviewed other YouTubers and podcasters, and Mick was one of the second or third ones I did it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it was a long way away from 850 subscribers or whatever the current.
I think
is.
was it our one where I forgot to press record or something bad happened anyway?
There was
And we
something
did
weird
half of it
happened.
again.
That we had to do half it again, and I had to remember what I'd said. Very trying times, Brian. But the internet was in its nascence then, so we didn't really know how any of this worked.
My internet knowledge was anyway.
Will I give a quick look for Damien?
Do.
All right.
This is entertaining anyway.
Very quickly.
I'll make you bigger.
Very quickly, right? Go on. So this is the Shomer Bjug in question. So we have got probably pretty much every MCU figure. I think I'm missing Yellow Jacket. I'm missing Yellow Jacket and Peggy Carter, I think, from the MCU Marvel Legends figures. I think that's it. And they were both, because they came in 2 packs. which
okay.
you know, with characters that I had already 3 or 4 of. I've got more Chadwick Bosemans than sense. I think there's a Chadwick Boseman in every compartment. Just non-stop Chadwick Bosemen. There's some Generation 1 Transformers over there. They're mostly childhood originals. Some of the IDW Transformers down there. We got a shelf, the secret shelf of shame, we call it. That's original GoBots.
Oh, GoBots.
Up the top there is my collection of weird stuff. So that is like Korean knockoff, world's smallest scale Transformer combiners, that kind of thing. Alternators and the original Masterpiece Prime and Megatron. More Transformers, mostly animated series. More Transformers, mostly animated series again. Some GoBots in there too. Some third-party combiners. More weird stuff, including that is the European version of Generation 1 Omega Supreme. We got the 90s X-Men, the Jim Lee X-Men. We have the Masterpiece baddies over there, including some Dinobots. We've got the Sega Mega Drive set up where I play. This is what I'm usually doing when I'm watching the show, actually. I'm usually playing Sega Mega Drive games over here and listening to the show at the same time.
Nice.
There's the game collection. And then it's all board games and stuff from there. So there's Blackstone Fortress, a lot of Warhammer stuff. I probably forgot to say Warhammer stuff. And comic books.
I think you've got me beat by a mile here.
I've been, unlike a lot of people, Brian, I never stopped. So I didn't take a break from, say, 16 to 25, where I didn't collect toys and action figures. I just kept going through it.
We have another.
Oh, very exciting. Everyone's on board now.
So the chat is now all here.
Hey!
Hey, Connor.
If we're dragging the culture cast into the gutter tonight, I wasn't going to miss an opportunity to take part in that.
Give us a room tour, Connor.
So we don't need to talk to the chat anymore. Everybody's here. We just have a normal chat. It's fine.
that is some proper amazing collection there, mate. Like that's
breathtaking. Absolutely.
Like that is.
I don't know. I see the likes of you guys on Brian especially. I see your videos and I'm looking at it thinking, how does one man humanly have space for that sort of stuff? Because you're just every week you're adding, and I don't feel like I add that much. Maybe because I'm at the limit of space, to be honest.
I think it's 2 keywords I always say to Tubbs and anyone else that asks me: no kids.
Yeah.
That's you have me beat on that front.
These are my children. God, that was so sad. It's a mix zone.
Yeah, we need more mix.
See, Hero Quest game board.
Yeah. There's a Hero Quest up there. That's an original Hero Quest too.
They've made that again, haven't they?
They have. They just released it on HasLab.
HasLab,
yeah, it's incredible.
How or why would you need to do a HasLab for a board game?
Yeah, it's weird.
A very popular board game at that. That was hugely popular back then.
That was all over the TV and everything years ago, like when that came out first.
I think that's what drew me into fantasy board gaming in the first place. The classic, the classic ad. I draw the broadsword. That one.
I remember it. Hero Quest.
Yes, exactly. And I never had it until I was about 20 and found it cheaply on eBay, I think.
Well, my brother got it the Christmas it came out, but we spent more time painting the figurines that came with it and the models that came with it, or the add-on packs, and actually playing the board game itself. But it looked beautiful on the shelf when it was all painted up.
Damien said
that was
you. Go on, Jonathan.
I was just going to say that was always the trick with those, the Games Workshop board games at the time, that half the people would just paint up the miniatures and not play the game, and the other people would just play the game and not bother painting the miniatures. You never ever seem to get a good combo of, playing the game with nicely painted miniatures. It just didn't ever seem to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, lads, it's a 4-player game and there are 4 people on this chat. So the next time everyone's up in Dublin, you come around my house. I have a fully painted set of Hero Quest and we'll set up the table.
I think I'm the
We'll
only
set
one
up
that's not from Dublin anyways.
Oh, you can come up. You can come up. We'll set up some streaming cameras and play. 4 men in their 30s play. Oh, 4 men in their 40s play Hero Quest.
I'm not 40s yet.
No, neither am I technically. But by the time this happens, Brian,
And I wasn't going to correct you.
Mick says he was scared of the Hero Quest TV I had years ago. It was the Orc.
Yeah, there's a spooky
it was
orc in
good.
there.
How did you do with the Lord of the Rings after that? Damien says, "Hey Connor."
Are you Damien?
So guys, have you been watching Hawkeye?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
What did you think of this week's episode?
Good.
I
That was
thought it
really good.
brilliant.
See, if
Yeah.
Tubbs was here now, he'd be fawning over Florence Pugh.
Oh, he's pro pug, is he? He's pro pug,
yes.
but anti Larson. I see. All right, so that's the tone I'm going to have to take. Okay, all right. Well, Pug was great.
For the 4 seconds she was in it.
Yeah.
So do you think this is Mephisto that's the uncle?
It's Mephisto. It's always Mephisto.
Always
Except the
Mephisto.
writers don't actually know who Mephisto is.
I've never heard of him. It was a great episode. The rooftop, again, as I said, Brian, 10 seconds ago, I said all of this morning, so it's going to sound really weird repeating myself. But it's the rooftop fight was the kind of, that's what you stick on YouTube. That's what's going to get the chat going. That's what's going to be, oh, look who's there. And then they did a kick and they did a flip and they had a special arrow. But the real heart of it was the little 2-person Christmas party they had.
Yeah.
That was more
Great scene.
character development.
Yeah,
Mm.
brilliant scene.
Yeah, incredible.
And
really
Hawkeye.
great scene.
Hawkeye showing her how to kill people with coins and bounce them around corners.
How many people like picked up a coin after that and they were like and hitting?
Oh yeah, I
breaking
think
windows
it's
or something?
achievable. I think it's not in a toy room. Not the utter chaos.
Disney's about to be hit with a load of class action lawsuits for broken TVs and monitors.
My 10-year-old lost his eye from a 20-pence coin.
I didn't need to go that dark, Brian. I was going to say a TV, but no, let's take out the kids' eyes.
Well, why not? Fuck it. I'm from Wexford, so I'm not from Dublin too. But I'm sorry for troubles, Mick.
Oh, you're right. Actually, you know what? Mick Houlihan's right because it's a 4-player game, but you need a game master, so it is 5.
Well, there's a bus from Wexford.
There's a bus from Wexford.
I've never played it. I've never actually understood those games, the Warhammer things. It's the one thing I could never get my head around.
It's lots of fighting over rules and
Yeah, it's all
people's
rules.
interpretation of rules.
Yeah.
And how straight you can move a ruler.
Yeah.
I remember that being a big issue or a big thing in the game.
Well, the good thing about Hero Quest is it's for kids, so it's dead simple. It's super simple. The advanced Hero Quest, a lot of the later ones, and Warhammer Quest, and the actual full games themselves can be complex. But Hero Quest is you could have beer and some goat's cheese, and you just have a great evening playing Hero Quest, and you don't even need to know the rules.
So what that game show as well this week, it threw up a few trailers. There was Sonic 2 and Halo getting a TV show.
Oh, Halo
So what
looked
are we-
really, really good.
Like,
Halo looked really, really good.
they've been trying to make it for years, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure about it, to be honest. Like, it looks really good. I agree with you. But there's only so many storylines where you can have big soldier dude shoots up alien. I don't know. Thoughts?
Yeah. Having said that, though, the curse of video games being terrible films and terrible TV series seems to be starting to break. Has anyone been watching Arcane?
I watched the first episode and I need to watch the rest of it.
Everyone says it's really good and the animation looks amazing, but then I hear it's based on League of Legends and it just immediately turns me off. Like,
That's
no,
the thing.
no.
I know nothing about League of Legends.
No, neither do
Nothing.
I.
Not a single jot of information about League of Legends. And it's a passably good TV show. And I think I know about the same about Halo. So if the Halo universe has a decent story at its core somewhere that you can hang a TV show idea on, it'll probably work.
Like I played years ago when I was on my uncle's in Reading. He was like, "Oh, here's an Xbox." I'd never seen an Xbox before. Like, play that there and see how you get on. It was Halo, and I think I started about 5 o'clock in the day and was still playing at 5 o'clock that morning. And yeah, it was really, really good game. Drew me in. You've got the flood.
But what was the story, Brian?
Aliens are taking over the planet. Save the planet.
Pretty much.
See that guy there?
Pretty much.
Shoot him hard. But you never like before then. You never had like vehicle combat and stuff like that. So like driving around on the beach for like 4 hours in a warthog, just going. That was great crack. Like
the music was also really amazing for its time. It was the first kind of video game that had, you know, you'd hear the theme tune and you immediately knew that's Halo. Like before then, there really wasn't anything. Not that I can recall.
Yeah, when you hear Hosier in the background, like. Oh. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It'll be interesting to see. I'm definitely going to watch it anyway, like, regardless, because that's what we do here. We watch stuff like this.
It'll get the usual levels of hate. It won't be as how someone imagines Halo should be and Master Chief should be in their imagination, so they're going to hate it immediately, you know?
Oh, there's always a YouTuber that has an issue, isn't there?
Is that Kevin Smith talking here?
Oh, don't even joke about that motherfucker.
I haven't seen the second part of Revelations yet.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't. It didn't grip me.
No, I watched the first. I watched the first one, and I didn't have too much issue with it. But I just haven't got around to watching the second part.
Like for me, like I enjoyed the first part, and I was aware of what a lot of people were saying negatively about it. And for me, the second part kind of confirmed everything they were saying. I thought it was going to keep going on an upward, but it just flattened for me. I don't know what you guys thought.
I didn't bother with the second part. Now, I've heard some synopsis for it, and it just sounds like a total shit show. Like, really, a total shit show. Is it true, like, how Evelyn gets the power sword is she gives she basically shags Skeletor and he powers down her. And I heard that, I was like, is this really true? And people were saying yes. I was like, nope.
Yeah, well, what happens is he is, well, spoilers, not really, but anyway, it's out a couple of weeks now. He's Skelegod at the time, and she basically prick teases him into giving back the power. So fucking stupid.
And then she gets very muscly.
Yeah, Amazonian like. And yeah, it just like whatever people were saying about He-Man in this one, in the first part, they do the exact same thing to Man-at-Arms and Skeletor in the second part. Just make them totally pointless.
Demasculate them.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's even a new female Man-at-Arms at the end of it. Yeah, I just don't want to talk about that shit.
Okay, Tila's lady friend, is it?
Yeah, Andras.
Oh, sorry, I should be being Tubbs here.
Confused with the tissue Andras.
Yeah,
but just as
load of bollocks it was having these women characters coming in and replacing He-Man. I bet you Brie Larson had something to do with that. I bet you it was her idea.
Definitely voicing the characters, like all of them. Damien said, I do like the Christmas theme in the background, which also makes me think for the Christmas Day episode, I wonder what chaos will unfold. Is it Kingpin? Definitely Mephisto. No, I do honestly think it is him because he's been tweeting about the show, and actors don't tweet about shows they're not in. Really,
yeah, he's not great at the game, is he? He's
no,
he's not
the guy in Full Metal Jacket was right.
Yeah, he's not playing the cards close to his chest, is he? He's just, I'm not in it, allegedly.
What a great show this is. You should really watch it. I'm not in it, though.
But yeah, weird guy, though.
I'd be delighted if and when he does show up.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they'll keep the Netflix backstory and stuff?
They might keep the backstory, but they'll tone it down. They have to tone it down. Like, this is a kingpin that literally, cut someone's head off by using a car door to like just bash his head in. And yeah, like the actor is amazing. Like, he totally owns the role. But in a Disney Plus movie, TV show, it's like, I can't see them going that far.
Like, it can still be dark, but without, you can tell but not show kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? You don't explicitly have to be all blood and gore, but they can still keep the intensity, I think, with Kingpin.
Well, that Moon Knight trailer the teaser that we got, that looked fairly brutal for Disney Plus. Like, that was kind of Netflix levels of, like, repeatedly.
He was smashing that guy in the back.
Yeah, smashing some guy over the head.
That sentence doesn't sound right. Smashing that guy in the bathroom, yeah. But yeah, I think
anything will go. Anything goes now on Disney Plus. They need it. They need to push it, and I think they've a lot of eggs in that basket. And I think, because when you think about it, even having something like Star Wars or Marvel on a Disney platform with Bambi and the likes, it's violent, it's gratuitous in that sense. So I think they're all in now to make Disney Plus work. And plus, then you have the Star channel added onto Disney Plus as well. That has a lot of the old 80s shows that are violent.
Even some of the TV shows from Star they're all 18s, like.
Yeah. So my opinion is they're all in.
Sorry, go ahead, Connor.
Sorry, no, go for it.
I was just going to ask, is Star the channel that did Spartacus and Banshee? Or am I mixing them up with another?
No, that was FX, I think, did Banshee for, I think, anyway.
As far as I know. Stars. It was definitely Stars. I don't know if it's the same Star or is that just a coincidence. But
I think Star is just the Hulu replacement over here, isn't it?
All right.
I don't know.
Because that dope sick thing that's on Star is on Hulu in the States, and it's finished in the States, whereas they're only drip feeding it here.
Have you watched that?
I watched all of it.
Oh my God.
Phenomenal.
Mad.
Michael Keaton is unbelievable.
Yeah. But
it's scary as fuck though.
Yeah.
Keaton can do a proper psycho, like Pacific Heights. I remember back in the day when he was just coming off, Beetlejuice, and he was in all like a comedy type actor.
Multiplicity.
And then suddenly he's in Pacific Heights, and it's like, holy shit!
That was such a good movie.
The scene he did in the car with Spider-Man in Spider-Man the first one.
I was just thinking of that, yeah.
Where he intimidates him with the gun, and he somehow manages to intimidate him despite being a normal man intimidating Spider-Man. That's how good he is at being a psycho.
The fact that he just turns around to him, he says, "You mess me, I will kill you and your family. Remember, I kill you." That was enough, like.
By the way, that was just playing the dad. That was nothing to do with being a villain. That's just how the dad.
Like Vulture is definitely up there with Thanos as my favorite MCU villains. Like, they weren't just evil for the sake of it, or I'm going to take over the world or the galaxy. It was just like, no, Thanos believed his shit, and Vulture was it's just a job. The government screwed me, so I'm going to keep looking after my family and my employees.
Yeah, he's a bit murdery though.
A bit murdery, yeah.
Lots of people look after the employees without being a bit murdery. Like he was the baddie when he vaporizes Shocker and goes, "Well, that was an accident, but I'm glad it happened."
Did you
that figure is brilliant.
Yeah, that new one looks really nice.
Oh, I'm tempted.
40 quid. Not bad. Not bad.
Did you build the figure, Mick, have you?
I do. I have him here. Hold on, I'll pop him down. Oh, I'm wearing trousers, so it's fine.
It's not Tubbs we're dealing with now.
I quite like the build of the figure.
Thankfully,
he's a big unit of a figure.
Is the build a figure the same? Like, is it the same figure we're getting, only just
new paint?
Not having to.
Seems like same figure, new paint. And I'm not sure the new one is that much more accurate than this fella. The new one is certainly brighter and more colorful, but this one,
Yeah, it's more highlighted, isn't it?
yeah, and he's got blue on the turbines and stuff like that, and he's got a much lighter green trouser on. But yeah, this guy's pretty solid. This is one of the sickening thing about these damn things is paying 170, 180 quid for a wave to get these, and then they come out 2 years later for 35 quid.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
then-
think it's pretty much a given that he's going to be in the new Spidey movie. Like if they're re-releasing this figure, we're just releasing this for the sake of it. Yeah, right, Hasbro. Like, please.
I'll tell
He's
you
on-
Wednesday evening.
Yeah, I'll tell you Wednesday evening too.
When is the next Marvel Legends live stream? Is it Tuesday or is it Thursday? Because
It's,
they're going to drop a
Thursday.
load of spoilers. There has to
Thursday
be
the
another.
15th.
It's Thursday, so there has to be a rake of wave two of.
I don't think they will
Far
though,
From Home.
because it's not out till Friday in the States,
yeah,
so it'll be a day before.
Well, they spoiled Egon in Ghostbusters with the Proton Pack HasLab
Ooh.
with a sorry.
I've seen it already, so I've seen the spoiler already. I haven't seen the movie yet.
I assume
Sorry,
you mean,
Connor. I thought you said
I assume you mean the original Ghostbusters.
the original one. That's it. Yes.
Who's Egon? See a secret
Where's
character
Egon?
who comes in at the end.
In fairness, now it was all over Twitter that this particular HasLab did have a spoiler scene about what new figures were coming out, and there was a certain figure that gives away a lot.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
but sure,
it be-
anyone that hasn't seen Return of the Jedi now knows what happens to that stormtrooper in the Rancor bit as well. So
Oh yeah. Iconic scene. An iconic scene. I remember her saying.
they've ruined that for another generation.
That whole like HasLab thing, just what were they thinking doing at? I don't know. Like
Well,
I
it's
think
like every good idea, isn't it? Have a good idea, do a couple of good things with it, and then keep pushing it until you find where the end of the good idea is,
then
and-
fall off the cliff. Like
and
they
then
did.
fall off a cliff and go, well, it was the fans' fault.
Yeah.
Because I was only saying to Jonathan there the other day, Hasbro just revealed the other day on their Power Rangers live stream, they did a full Megazord for, is it 150 quid?
Looks very nice.
And like the fact that they can do that and they can't do, they're charging 350 for a fucking Rancor and
Yeah.
2 figures and a bit of plastic and cardboard as well. It
But
beggars
it's-
belief.
It's even with their current Transformer lines. You've got, Commander class figures like Jetfire, who would be pretty much Rancor height, only with shorter arms. Then you've got the
85.
Titan class like the Omega Supreme there, or the Black Sarek that's about to come out. And they're about like 130, 140. And these are 2 foot tall figures that transform and are
And-
fully articulated.
And look at the molding and detail in them as well.
Yeah.
It's not just a solid mold of an arm or a leg.
And they all have ratchets.
Yeah.
So they stand up.
And like, I mean, I can understand something like the Rancor, right? That's a perfect product to ask for pre-orders,
Mm.
Yeah.
right? So okay, they front the money, they go to the design stage and the tooling stage and everything else, and before they go into full production, they say, right, this is something you have to pre-order, and then they'll do that run of say 20,000 that are pre-ordered plus an extra, given, I don't know, X% for retail on top of that, rather than having to pre-order a €25 figure that you're not going to get till the middle of next year. It's beyond me. It's just crazy.
No, the middle of 2023.
Forgive my
Oh, yeah,
ignorance,
no,
but
we're just talking
isn't
about
that how
figures in
HasLab
general.
works?
Oh yeah, the regular ones, yeah.
But
Yeah, but
even
they-
they're saying they
But just
couldn't do
avoid
that
all this.
retail.
But they priced in the tiers, right? They priced in all that stuff was already priced in from the get go. So they had in my opinion, I've no evidence, but to me they had priced in the cost of the tiers into the full value of it hitting its full target. And I think that's why, even though 8,500 collectors backed it, I think that's why they pulled the plug on it so quick. Because I think, in my opinion, they had an expectation they were going to hit that 19,000.
Yeah.
And sell through. So that's because they pulled out very, very quickly. And I think also as well, I think a lot of that then jumped over to the
Make I know what you're thinking.
Disguise Striker.
the Sky Striker. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm thinking, Brian, that's why they don't have any kids.
I knew there was a joke like that coming.
They pulled out very quickly.
Well, Hasbro kind of showed their hands that they were suddenly for the same, $350, the 9,000 backers, that they can suddenly go, this is what we need to do a Rancor. And now, we can also give you a brand new sculpted figure in the Rancor Keeper, just free of charge.
Yeah, just like that.
Like, not, they waited 2 weeks, they saw the numbers weren't going anywhere, and then suddenly they dropped this. So that just shows they were making a serious profit on it.
And are you telling me now that if they didn't go with the 9,000, they couldn't have split that 500 up globally to online retailers to distribute?
I think they didn't want it not to do gangbuster numbers.
I was
following. Like, I was up early like that day when the UK Pulse site shut down and the American one was still going, so I was kind of like refreshing it on the tablet. And another hour or two, 3 at the most, and that would have hit 9K. And I think they just didn't want it. Would just have hit the funding goal.
Yeah.
Maybe 9,500. But I think that because they had the Razor Crested, Gangbuster numbers, Sentinel, Galactus, like they all did crazy amounts, like 30,000. They didn't just want to limp over the line, and they killed it instead. How's it going, Shabby?
Hey, Shabs.
How did Everton do?
Oh, they beat us today. I can't say nothing.
But that's 8,500 customers left upset now, and let down and disappointed. So I'd like to think that as a company they'll do something about that or try to rectify that.
And a giant Cookie Monster in the failed pile, like that's not great. You know what I mean? That's not a great look.
Is the Rancor not? No great Star Wars fan am I, so I haven't really been keeping my eye on this. Is the Rancor not coming out? It's not being released.
No,
it's not being released.
Nope.
Oh,
did not fund.
Wellity. Wow. There's a part of me, as someone who doesn't collect Star Wars, so it doesn't really mind, but a little bit of me thinks, well done, lads, for sticking to your guns and saying, if it doesn't get the funding, it's not getting released. Because otherwise it makes a joke of the whole situation of we're only going to release this if it hits a certain amount. And then, okay, we're 500 short this time. And then the next one is 1,000 short and there's still fan demand to release it. And then the next one is 1,500 short and they still release it. So, I mean, there's a certain part of me that has a grudging respect for them for sticking to their guns, for sticking to what they said.
Yeah, but only on the basis that they had an expectation of 19,000.
And just before Christmas. I know a load of people that would have been in for the Rancor. That just because it was this side of Christmas, it was a no-go. If this had a running in, say, January or February, I think it would have funded. Yeah, even with the crappy tiers.
When you buy a HasLab, do you pay upfront?
No.
Yes.
So you
do.
Pay.
My money hasn't been taken for Galactus yet, though.
So, has it not?
No.
Oh, then I'm wrong. Sorry, because people were saying that you get charged when it funds.
That's what I thought.
When once it funds and the campaign ends, that's when your credit card gets hit. That's right.
Maybe it's different through Hasbro Pulse because the ones for here will say they all go through Zavi. Shudders, but they haven't taken money yet. It was the same last year for the Sentinel. It wasn't until January, I think, when everyone's broke, they took the fucking money. So,
when they did hit your credit card, was that when it shipped or was it just a random time?
I didn't get the Sentinel at all, so I don't know. But that's just what the lads were telling me. But yeah, fucking... I think it was stupid as well. Like, how is it they can let Marvel have a free run of Galactus on its own in September, August, or whatever time it was, and then squash 3 together in the run-up to Christmas? It made no business sense whatsoever.
Star Saber as well, or Victory Saber, whichever.
As well, just after that, yeah.
Are they thinking that there's no overlap between the people who collect them? Is that what it is? It's like, the Star Wars people won't get the Transformers one.
Well, there will be with G.I. Joe and Star Wars.
And Marvel.
Yeah, but maybe not as much. See, I suppose, and I'm coming from all right, serious biased opinion here, hands on the table. But like, I mean, I grew up with Star Wars and GI Joe, so that's what my continuation has been. So there wasn't a lot of Marvel figures around when we were younger. So, but I think the Ghostbusters one will be out on its own for cosplayers and diehard Ghostbuster fans.
I think they did a really good job on that, though. They managed to coincide it with the release of the new film as well.
Yes, yeah. Marketing wise, that was a success. Bar the fact you need to buy the wand separately, and then one of the stretch goals is the hose.
Just get a hose from B&Q. Fine.
Yeah, but from what, like, I think people like Matt from Universal Collector, like, he was into the cosplay scene, and I think we were chatting in a live stream, and he said that it's actually good value. If you were to buy it anywhere else or try and make your own, it would cost more. So for cosplayers, that's an easy sell.
Yeah.
And it did
Very
look
much
awesome,
so.
And it sounded right. You could hang it on the wall and everything. So it's a nice
piece.
But
that's what I mean. As a diehard Ghostbusters fan, you would use it as a display piece. It would look fantastic hanging up. So
even though the stand was the final tier, it's kind of like, oh, Jesus, that's like, really.
Just throw it in while you're selling it, for fuck's sake. Well, yeah, the whole system itself is flawed anyway. I think most of these things can easily, especially the Sky Striker. I know it's funded, but something like that. Like, I bought, was it a Night Raven at Heaton's for 20 quid about 5 years ago? Like,
yeah,
and clearance, and that's probably the problem, I suppose.
But even last year, I picked up the Black Series Snowspeeder, and like, that's bigger than the Sky Striker. The box is definitely bigger than the Sky Striker, and you could get that at retail. I've seen that in Forbidden Planet. So the Sky Striker could easily be done at retail. We looping back to when we were speaking of Transformers and the Titan class, Omega Supreme, and the other ones. Those boxes you see in Smith's, in Forbidden Planet, in Big Bang Comics. So a Rancor box wouldn't be that big. It's only 17 inches tall.
I agree. Yeah, I think it was a retail product to begin with, and should have been.
And I think that's a big problem that Hasbro are facing at the moment. They've gone from things that could only be done as a HasLab, like the Sail Barge, the Sentinel, Galactus, which are huge, to things like the Razor Crest. Well, you sold the Millennium Falcon at retail. That's a fairly big box. And then you have small things like the Rancor, the Sky Striker.
Like,
but the Sky Striker was always a retail product. Back from 1980, whenever it was out. So I don't think there's any justification for that being a HasLab.
And I think by that funding, the Joe fans, if they are going back to the O-ring style figures, they've just shot themselves in the foot, because they're never going to get a new vehicle again. No. Because it's going to be, oh no, you want a HISS tank? That's a HasLab. You want a Rattler or that hovercraft thing?
Killer whale,
the HasLab.
That's the point I was going to make. Like, if these things continue to succeed, the things are only going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and the money is going to go up and up and up.
Yeah.
For anything you want in the future, you're going to be like, oh well, crowdfund time, bend over.
But I think that's what it felt like, and I think fans did wise up to that. I can understand the Sky Striker meeting his target, because the Joe fans have just had nothing for years and years and years. There's really been, it's nothing for 20 or 30 years for G.I. Joe fans. So that they hit right in the fields having something like that.
Did you bracket, Connor?
No. I'm trying to be careful as well with opinion. I'm completely against that model for a huge corporation. Now, if Brian Inc. was doing it himself, I'd back it. You know what I mean? Because you know, a small independent manufacturer or dealer trying to do something like that. That's what a Kickstarter is for. But when these guys sit down to a big live stream with all the lights and the jazz and everything else, you know, the money has been spent already. They've pumped the money into it. Then they're pulling up designs and mock-ups of whatever they have. They have the capacity to do all that design work in advance of announcing it, and I think that's unfair.
But Connor, the solution to that is exactly what's happened. People don't back it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only thing that'll ever make them stop doing it.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
they need some high profile losses. And like, as you guys, I haven't bought a single HasLab product. It's not, I'm an impulse buyer. So the idea of tempting me with something that might happen in 2 years, not a hope. Don't care. Need to see it in a shop or see it on a YouTube channel and go, oh, I want that, and I'm going to buy it now before I change my mind. So I'm never. It's never going to appeal to me to that structure. But the only way it's ever going to go away is if it doesn't work. And the more it works, the more they're going to do it. And you're right, they're going to do it for smaller and smaller and smaller things. And I mean, if I were the CEO of $1 billion toy corporation, my dream is every figure is HasLab.
Yeah.
And we have commitment to sales numbers before we release anything. New Spider-Man wave coming out next month. Here's the 6 characters. We put a little like bar chart on the website, and it creeps up to commitment level, and then okay, we're releasing it. And then they never release a peg warmer again in their whole existence as a company.
It's
And-
what
And
what-
Mick, from a corporation level, that type of thinking is spot on. You're 100% correct. But that goes against every retail model out there.
Oh yeah, but they
Right,
don't care
and-
about retail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, how much of sales are generated through in-store on-the-spot purchases, where a kid or a collector is in the store and they're browsing through and they say, "Oh, I'll go for that one," and that type of market is gone now, or is a dying breed.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I were Hasbro or any equivalent, and I could kill the having to deal with retailers, having to
Cut
ship
out
to
the middleman.
retailers, just cut them out, get rid of them completely. Do a Movement Watches, do a Casper mattresses, and just go straight from supplier to customer, and go, there you go. You commit that you're going to buy this, and we'll make it. And yeah, it'll kill retail. It'll kill the joy of going into shops and looking at things. It'll kill the joy of coming across something you'd never heard of before, because anything you come across that you'd never heard of before, you'll have missed the window. So
But
you're not going to.
it will kill sales.
It'll kill
And
the
it'll kill
business as
the
well, though,
revenue.
because
In time. But like, I
there'll
mean,
be
all you need is a ship to turn sideways in a canal to fuck the whole system up for 6 months and kill the whole model. Like, if nothing we've learned over the last 18 months, that, you know, all it takes is a virus you can't see, or a ship turned sideways to absolutely balls up the system, and for everything to fall down and fall apart.
But
So, like, I mean, historically,
But
those supply chain structures are there to protect. And remember, they're only shipping to distribution centers. You know, they're not delivering to every retailer all around the states. You know, it's going to a handful of distribution centers and sent out for there. Those supply chains already exist for every other product. So it's not costing them to just ship their product alone. Now, I was in Smith's a few weeks ago, and I saw something that was a real eye opener for me. There was a kid there with his mum, and he goes, "Oh, look, Mom, they have the wrestlers. They have the wrestlers." And she was looking at them with him, and she says, "Okay,
Of course they have the
right."
wrestlers. Why do you think we're here?
We have wrestlers at home.
But no, but here's the thing, right? So obviously he was into wrestling. He wanted a toy, and she looked at them and she looked at the price and she says, "Okay," she said, "Listen, you can only get one." And I thought, what use is one fucking wrestler to a kid to play with?
You need to go.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you know, at the bare minimum, you need two.
Yeah.
And the little
well,
fella's
he
priced
might have
down.
had some at home. It might be the
Huh?
fourth wrestler figure that he's buying.
Well, I don't know. I think The Rock has gone home to fight the Hulk if he's lucky, you know.
That's
But like,
coming on
If they
Netflix, I
went
think.
if they went with the model that Mick just mentioned there, that yeah, they're going to make a lot of money now. But 5 years down the line, when, you know, people have gotten sick of collecting because it's too hard to get them, or they're constantly waiting for their credit cards to be dinged, what about the next generation? There's no toys on the shelf. So like we're like, as Connor mentioned earlier, he was into G.I. Joe and Star Wars as a kid. So that's what he's into now. I was into Star Wars and Transformers as a kid, so that's what I'm into now. But kids today, if the toys aren't on the shops, if they can walk into a Smith's or a Forbidden Planet and buy something or get their parents to buy it, they're not going to have any connection, you know, when they're in their 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. So Hasbro is they're literally kind of killing the golden goose if they went with that model. And they've pretty much done it already. Like I'm not going to name names, but there are YouTubers that we all watch who've gone from being completionists that they would try and pick up everything to now they're just picking up bits and pieces because of the hassle of getting them, of the nightmare of having to wait 6 months to a year for a figure to arrive. So it's just kind of like, nah, I'm not going to buy everything now. I'm just going to buy the figures that I really, really want.
Do you mean Brian's action figure reviews, Jonathan? Is that what you're saying?
Well, amongst others.
Then,
I just don't like calling people out because they're like, well, why is he mentioning me? But
look at
let's just say
this way, though, right? Look at it this way. You're not everything that's crowdfunded. All of the crowdfunding is coming at stuff that's aimed at us. You're not getting crowdfunded Fortnite. You're not getting crowdfunded Roblox.
Yes.
You're not getting crowdfunded whatever else young people are into.
Next HasLab will be the bus for Fortnite.
Yeah, or the island but flipped upside down, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to crowdfund a Fortnite bus. They're just going to send that straight to retailers. They're not going to crowdfund a $500 Roblox set because that's selling. That doesn't need the distribution model that we're talking about. So end of the day, what I'm trying to say is toy collectors should be celebrating these things failing.
I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that.
But then
and even things like the RoboSkull, that funded in an hour and a half. Like that funded in real time.
Yeah.
Like RoboSkull.
To me, that's a real Kickstarter. That's a small independent company trying to create something. But just to go back on what Mick was saying there, on the one hand, some of us were celebrating that this fell over. This is great. This is a win for the consumer. This is fantastic, and they might listen to us now. But it split the fandom because half of the people are saying, "Well, look, you all gave out. You blocked it from being backed. You've killed Star Wars. They're not going to make anything now. That we know."
Kathleen Kennedy killed Star Wars.
Yes.
I'd argue Lucas did when he sold it. But anyway, I've had many around on that one. But
that was their fault too, Connor, because we all gave him shit for the prequel, so we sold it to Disney. So it's always their fault.
I don't know. He
basically said you thought the prequels are shit. Wait till you see the sequels.
I mean, Connor, you're about to basically if you were to look. This is one of the stupidest things I've ever said live on air. But if you were to look at the Star Wars fandom as a person, as a single person, they're going through a cognitive dissonance then, where half of their personality is going, yes, they failed in this stupid exploitative thing that they were doing, that they wanted to take advantage of us and, possibly ruin collecting. But at the same time, I wanted that Rancor and I wanted it now. And it's not fair that I can't have what I want.
First of all, I'm glad you said the collecting because I wasn't sure if you were talking about the sequels or toy collecting there.
No, toy collecting. I'm talking about the Rancor thing.
It was a perfect description for both.
In a sense, yeah.
No, I personally didn't buy. Jonathan raised a good point actually. If that had come out middle of next year, I might have considered it.
Same.
Right, but this close to Christmas and this close to the end of the year and everything else, no, I wasn't even in a position to even consider it. Right, HasLab is not something that I'm in favor of. I don't agree that. But my objections come from. I think that, like I said, that they had priced in the tiers from the get go, and they had the expectation it was going to meet the full goals, and that's why it had such a high price point as well. So I had a few objections to it, but I don't like the fact that it has kind of split people. 8,500 collectors have been severely let down and are really disappointed, and I genuinely feel for them. Even though I wasn't going to personally back it, that's a lot of other guys and some people we know that were going all in for it were let down. So you have to feel for them as well.
But is 8,500 people that much? Like when you come to Black Series? Like
when you think of Star Wars fandom in general, like
I
Well-
think I can't remember if it was Big Bad Toy Store or Dark Side Toys. I'm kind of leaning towards Dark Side. They gave an interview and he said just with the Mandalorian, the Beskar Mandalorian figure, that they easily sold something like 15,000 of them. And he wanted more. He said he could have easily sold nearly 100,000 of those himself.
Jesus.
And he couldn't get it in because the likes of Walmart and Target and everywhere else were gobbling them up. So 8,500, yeah, it sucks that those people didn't get it. And I genuinely feel kind of bad for them. But in the big scheme of things, that's a tiny amount. That's an absolutely tiny amount. Like even
Drop in the ocean, yeah.
Yes. The I don't know if Hasbro make the same quantities of every figure. I would imagine they don't. A character like Boba Fett or Darth Vader or Stormtrooper, they're going to make more of those than they are of the likes of, a General Lando, just because he's not that big a character and he's not going to sell that well. So £8,500 isn't. Well, they're not. No, that's the thing. They're not. We mentioned this before in other streams that the Black Series could easily do 3 or 4 waves just on Cantina aliens alone.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
So there's and then you have all the Clone Wars cartoons, the Rogue One aliens, the sequel aliens. That's just on the aliens, the background characters. So there's loads of figures that they could do. Like Jesus, Marvel Legends dropped 138 figures in this year alone.
Jesus.
That's this year alone.
That number now, like that just fucking seems mad.
Yeah.
But I
So
totally believe it, like
even drop that down to 90 if you take out all the Iron Man and all the Spider-Man and that kind of thing. That's a crazy amount of figures to be dropping on a year. And Star Wars has way more background characters that people would buy. People were going mental over that the bar scene with Ben and Ponda Barber and the Doctor, whatever his name was.
Well,
and that was
now,
thinking, what, 90 quid?
So I was going to come back and sort of say, yeah, but a lot of those characters just wouldn't be as popular. But funny enough, to back up what you're saying, out of the next wave, they're kind of the 2 figures that I want. So give credence to your point.
to just like finish up on the subject though, I think like this isn't the first time we've seen something like this. Mattel, for instance, kept He-Man kidnapped for about 10 years doing the whole MattyCollector.com thing where you could literally only buy the figures from them, and their kind of excuse was, oh well, He-Man doesn't sell at retail, so buy the figures from us. So anyone like who collect the Masters of the Universe classics will know that they had like I don't know, was it a subscription service or you had to buy the figures directly from them anyway, and I think it worked out at around $45.
Yeah, they were
Plus-
very expensive.
Plus
They
postage and
went for
packaging.
Thundercats as well, didn't they?
They tried Thundercats as well, just didn't
that kind of
do as
killed it.
well.
Yeah.
But now of course, like it's the first time in years we have He-Man back at retail, and they have the likes of Castle Grayskull and everything.
And
You can see
Everyone loves it.
that's another big box item
everywhere
as well. Like
for 17 quid a figure.
yeah.
And they can do what size are He-Man there? What, 6 or 7
5 inch, and you have the Revelations one then, or 7, I think.
But they can do 5-inch vehicles and they're 20, 30 quid. Yeah, we can't do
yeah.
Black Series or Marvel
Yeah.
Legends vehicles
Look
because
at
now you need a Haslam for that.
Wind Raider's only 30,
Yeah.
35 quid.
We see them as well. They're very easy to make, I'd say as well. They're pure like basic plastic as well. Those mass Origins vehicles and stuff. So what else was it? So Spider-Man this week, guys. Any thoughts on that? Who's got tickets first of all? Well, we can't see you, Jackson.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So like, is there any like mad predictions any of you guys have?
I predict it might not be that great. I'm starting to get a bit nervous. I'm starting to get a bit nervous. We watched the 5 previous Spider-Man movies last weekend or last
All
week
in one-
to
all
get
in one
ready.
week.
All in 1 week. Yeah. So we watched Spider-Man 1, 1, 2, and 3, Spider-Man 2, 1, and 2, and Spider-Man 3, 1, and 2 to prepare for Spider-Man 3, 3. And
Oh, my head.
exactly. And it's bizarre how nostalgic people are for those films, which were not that long ago, and a lot of them not that great.
No.
People are being very forgiving, and I mean, at the time it came out, no one liked Lizard, no one liked Jamie Foxx's Electro, no one liked.
No. They still don't.
I still
and
don't.
they still don't. But for some reason, the fact that
I
they're all
did.
going to be in it together, like, oh, it'll probably be good then for some unknown reason.
I think people are holding on to the fact that it's Marvel Studios, so it can only be better.
Mm.
And Tom
Hellfire.
Holland is likable. He's a likable
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
And
Andrew
he-
Garfield, not so much. Tobey Maguire is still the GOAT.
Yeah, I still like Andrew Garfield, but
I'd rather Garfield over
But what I will
Tom
say
Holland,
is, right, of all,
Other
like, I
guys,
mean,
like-
you know, when there's a film coming out I'm excited for, I don't know if you guys do the same. I jump on YouTube and I watch everything about it and follow certain channels that talk about the pop culture scene and the movies, and they'll slate the films. But when I go and watch them, there's always something I'll find that I like in it.
Mm.
And for instance, you didn't like Venom 2, Brian, but when I watched it, I was like, oh, this, you know, I actually enjoyed it because I got to see, you know, the character and
Which character was that, Connor?
Tom Hardy, who I think is a brilliant actor, and Venom and Carnage. I couldn't think of the name. Brain fart.
Clyde.
But no, but I enjoyed it, right? And one thing I didn't jump on when it came out was Into the Spider-Verse.
Same.
I saw a clip and I saw this little pig and I thought, feck that now, huh? And eventually did get around to watching it one time, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was brilliant, right? Even though it was a strange story and it was weird characters, and Peter Parker was going around wearing sweatpants and a trench coat, and this is peculiar.
That's the problem, though, Connor. Not many people actually went to see Spider-Verse. It didn't really do well financially. Like, it got all the acclaim and everyone was raving about it. Yeah, it didn't make any money.
All right, because I thought it did well. Because I remember a lot of people talking it up, and I knew they were making the second one. So I suppose from that point of view of what happened there for me, I'm looking forward to it. And I have high hopes on Wednesday of what's going to come from it.
To answer your question, though, I am completely the opposite. When there's a new film coming out, I'll watch the first, maybe second trailer. Sometimes you can't avoid them anyway, but after that, I kind of shut everything out.
Yeah.
And then go see the movie. And then the minute I come home, resubscribe to all these pages and see whatever else happens. See if it lines up in my own head or whatever. Like, but I was saying to you, Connor, when I watched Spider-Verse first, I don't know, I didn't get it or something maybe. But when I watched it the second time, I absolutely loved it. I probably was in the fucking mood or something the first time I watched it. But I really loved it the second time. Go on, Jonathan, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, just to add to your point there, that, watch the first couple of trailers and then just no more information. I don't want to hear any behind the scenes news. But you also have to kind of stay off Twitter from the time it drops to the time you see it, because otherwise, you're going to have some arsehole who's just going to spoil it just for they've got a beef with Disney, or they just want to be, wild and wacky and, oh, yeah, such and such died and blah, 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 blah.
Stay off Twitter is just good life advice.
I was just going to say the same.
Just stay off Twitter, Jonathan. Just get off there.
Oh, no. I gave up Facebook. I still like me Twitter. You just block everybody who's, No.
The other thing is...
I'm training you.
The other thing is, Sony in particular
are always late to the party. Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. It's a very strange party today. We're all in cosplay as not the usual people. Sony in particular loves spoiling a film. They will just put out trailers. Yes. What was it? Was it something like 46% of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 had been released before the film came out? And
what pissed me off about that was, remember Spider-Man Homecoming? They fucking showed the scene with Robert Downey Jr. where he says, "You don't deserve the suit" or whatever. They showed that in an ad, and I was like, "Oh, you fucking idiots! Like, why'd you do that?" Like,
there are YouTube channels where they piece together all of the Sony trailer footage in order to see how much of the film you're going to get. And it just
don't care.
And it was 40-something% they released. That's amazing.
It was crazy amount. It was a crazy amount of footage. Maybe it wasn't 47%. Maybe it was 47 minutes or something like that.
Worship Tomatoes. Yes, those sad sacks.
But Connor, even just jumping back to what you said about Venom 2, how much of that was shown in the movies? Like, it was pretty much all the final fight.
I didn't see the movies.
Well,
ruined Logan for me. Never read the comic.
How did
Yeah,
Logan
social media in general though is a minefield when new stuff comes out. How many people got Game of Thrones spoiled on them by the creators?
Yeah. Oh, I have a story for a spoiler, right? And
Go
this,
on.
honest to God, happened to me, right? So the Sixth Sense came out, the Bruce Willis one. You know, I see dead people, right?
Mhm.
And everyone was right. This is a great film, and you have to see it and everything else. And I've never seen it, and I went down to Extravision and I hired it out twice and never got to watch the DVD and had to bring it back. And one Sunday I said, it must be about 2 years after the film was out, or 3 years. I said, I don't know what it came up, and I said, right, I'm going to go down. So I walked down to Extravision, I rented out the DVD, and I came back and I sat down and I said, I'll watch The Simpsons first, and I'm going upstairs to watch The Sixth Sense. And true as God, I'm watching The Simpsons, and I can't remember the scene. And Bart Simpson goes, yeah, but that's like The Sixth Sense when you find out that Bruce Willis was the ghost all along.
That's brilliant.
I love it. That's fucking jazz.
The worst spoiler I ever had came from Bart Simpson.
And that movie even had a big thing at the end. The original after credit scene where it was like, please don't spoil this movie to anyone else.
Well, it must have been 2 years I went without hearing the end of it. And I had to watch The Simpsons that night.
That's fucking excellent. He's jokingly called the ending of Game of Thrones the week before there to the figure group. I hope you weren't kicked out. But yeah, like I don't know what's going to happen in Spider-Man. I don't think it'll disappoint, but it has, because I've avoided most of the hype anyway. But I hope it doesn't disappoint. No, you said it, Mick.
Do you think though, because there's so much hype, it might disappoint? That people just have it built up in their heads that this is going to be the best movie of the year, and you know, we're back to the old school, you know, MCU hitting every beat.
Like it's already tracking to be the biggest fucking movie money wise, isn't it?
They said the same about Dune. They said the same about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I liked Dune.
So did I. I liked both of those movies, but it's the way that they're kind of like these, you know, so-called channels that are like they're always tracking the data and it's going to be the biggest movie and it's going to put all the Marvel movies to shame, and then no, it doesn't, because it just doesn't.
I would be stunned if Spider-Man wasn't the biggest film of the year. I think
it has to be. I think it honestly has to be. But they're talking about, you know, doing $1 billion, doing nearly $2 billion, and it's like it's not going to do that. Especially not now that like nearly everywhere is going back into lockdown by the looks of things.
Well, now funny
story, Connor. What the fuck happened to Haley Joel Osment? He ate lots and lots of cookies. It looks like.
Yeah.
This is the first film now I've gone to see in the cinema for. Well, yeah, since the lockdown. So like I've avoided sort of confined spaces with people. I've been trying to play it safe. So
I was doing that before lockdown, but anyway.
Sonic the Hedgehog, I think, was the last movie I saw in the cinema.
Was it? Yeah. But I just so like, I mean, I've been kind of playing it safe with the whole virus thing and everything else, and just not taking risks, and that's my decision, my choice. But Spider-Man is enough to bring me out of my shell and get me out to see it. So if that's anything to go by, hopefully, you know, maybe more people will be willing to go and see it in the cinema and put bums on seats.
Oh, it's gonna clear $1 billion, I reckon.
We're only at 50% capacity now, isn't it? Here in Ireland, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I went to book the tickets the other day, I was roaring laughing. It was like 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30.
Got billions of showings.
No, I've booked 6 rows, so it should be all right.
No, I always book the corner at the front, so there's 2 seats inside you, so you're grand. There'll be no one near you. North King Jedi. I love Spider-Man, but with how fans have took theories and just ran with them, it's ruined it for me. That's every comic book TV show that's been on as well, though.
Yeah.
Like we were joking about Mephisto a while ago. That was actually a thing for ages for WandaVision. Mm-hmm. And like people do get to lose the run of themselves, and then you go in expecting too much, and when it doesn't happen, then you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, the back end of... Go on, Jonathan, sorry.
Sorry, Mick. The thing about WandaVision, that the fan theories were all running wild, and it did ruin the show for me because it didn't even live up remotely near it. But the makers of the show were putting in all these little Easter eggs that went nowhere. Like they brought your man the Quicksilver from the movies back, and oh no, we're just in there for a laugh. He's not a character at all.
Yes, that was
Even in
very
the game,
upsetting.
Dick Boner, like
That was so
Jesus
stupid.
Christ.
That
And
was very
the whole-
upsetting.
The whole thing with the flies, and oh my god, it's Mephisto, and then you find out no, it's not Mephisto.
It's Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
Easily the most upsetting thing that happened in 2021.
Like that has to be just giving the finger to the audience. Like just a character like that and the name Boner, and it's like, oh,
And
Jesus
the fact that they
Christ.
dressed him up as Quicksilver and everything in the fucking
Yeah.
Halloween episode.
Yeah, very upsetting. Most upsetting thing that's ever happened, I felt.
My
My biggest worry about Spider-Man is how happy Jamie Foxx is to be in it. That fills me with dread. That
I think
Jamie
he's
Foxx
the only
is
one who's
delighted.
happy he's in it.
That's what worries me, Jonathan. He's just like, I'm back. And I'm like, oh no, are you? Why? No.
Well, in fairness, his costume actually looks cool this time, so at least it has that going for it.
It does.
Like
but
the original one in Amazing 2, that was just Jesus, guys. That's the best you could
It
do.
was fucking ridiculous.
it was awful, and it feels like they've unlearned any lessons from that. Because
This is what happens when you leave Sony for too long by themselves.
Yeah.
I
No,
suppose
I
that-
have a feeling it might be like Spider-Man 3, where they have too many villains in it. And it just means that the story is just, there's no story. It's just one action sequence after another, which might look great, but like it's not a great storytelling method.
yeah, but if
Like-
anyone can do it, it is Marvel. Because look at Infinity War, look at Endgame. People said there's too many characters, that won't work. It's
How They
impossible.
put off Endgame. How did they do it? Now, I thought it was brilliant. It was great the way they done it, but the amount of characters in that was just obscene, and it worked.
Infinity War was better, but
Yes.
still in game
Yeah.
was so good though. The only problem I had with Endgame was like that there was an actual mouse set off the thing at the start that brought Ant-Man back. Was total
Cosmic
Yeah.
coincidence.
such a coincidence, like, and the fate of the world hinged on that, like, the Doctor Strange is inside the mouse's head going one. But yeah, so
He knew it was going to happen. That was the 1 million chance. For the 14 million chance that would happen.
I want to see the movie with the 14 billion other universes where they lose, like they did in the Doctor Strange when he was fighting Dormammu or whatever. You just get
Might be a bit
smashed
long,
together every
Brian.
time.
I'm sure we'll get them in What Ifs. What If Season 2.
I still haven't seen What If. I don't know. I must get around to it.
It ranges from good to like meh, but for the most part, it's a decent enough watch. Except for the episodes with Thor, I thought they were really weak. They just made him out to be a complete simpleton.
But
Well,
he's on
just
that
lost.
trajectory.
Isn't he a bit of an idiot anyway? In the very first MCU movie before he
No, he's kind of got a bit of a party bro vibe going with him, but like
played it
he's
up
not
too much
stupid.
and
He just doesn't care. But in this one, he's just like a window licker. He's just playing a window licker.
I wasn't going to go there, but since you
Oh,
did,
Jesus.
I didn't say the other words.
Oh no, the window licker is much better. No, that's fine. Yeah,
come in
No
my
one
car,
ever-
got strawberry
no one who
windows.
could be offended by that. Hold on, yeah, 1 second. Sorry, Jonathan. I have Brie Larson here on the line.
No, you're playing Tubbs. I'm playing Bruno.
Yeah, well, Brie Larson's on the line here. I think you've encroached on my Tubbs performance. She wants to have a word with you.
I'm really watching what I'm saying here tonight, Mick.
Don't do it on my account.
I'm just deleting my Twitter here.
Now you know how I feel every week with the two of them. Oh,
Brian, your stress level must be way down tonight.
fine. But like North King Jedi says, I must say it, Amazing 2 was a good Electro design.
Yeah, I'd agree. I liked it. I loved the Amazing too.
I must say nothing.
No, I watched them both again. Like I said, I watched them both again. They're such weird films. They're so close to the Tobey Maguire ones. There was so little need for them to show us how Spider-Man started again. And
Yeah, they didn't need the Uncle Ben thing again. like.
Oh,
yeah, we
poor,
did not need to see Uncle Ben again, and because that was
poor
so
old
boring.
bastard. How many times are they going to kill him?
Exactly. Yeah, they're
It's
going
like
to kill him in
Batman's
the
Returns
animated.
at this stage.
Exactly. They're going to kill him in the animated series next year, I suppose, as well. But because they were retreading the origin again, they had to spice it up. So they made everything so complicated with spy parents, and the lizard was involved in his origin, and Norman Osborn is involved in his origin, and the lizard and Norman Osborn are tied in together, and everything's this big giant mystery. And you're like, oh, just
They
skip
forgot
it.
the
Just
lizard's
skip
nose.
it. Yeah, they just forgot the whole front of his face. They didn't give him purple trousers. They didn't give him a lab coat. Complete waste of time.
Yeah, you
They
need
got
to
Didn't they
some
do
money.
that in the comics at one stage, though? They made Peter Parker's parents spies or
Yeah, they were shield agents, I think.
yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that was it.
Yeah.
So they kind of, did take it from the comics, though.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good.
I
True,
thought they were going. I
true.
thought they were going to do. They were
True.
going the whole Ultimates route with Norman Osborn. You know, he dies in the Ultimates comic, and then he comes back as the big fucking hulking goblin type thing.
Yeah,
They never did.
we'll
so
never see it.
thank
We'll never know.
God.
Isn't
Oh,
it funny
no.
that with all of these returning characters, nobody cares that James DeFranco's not coming back, and nobody cares that Dane DeHaan's not coming back. No
Who?
one's saying,
Think Franco's
Exactly.
done. Think Franco's done.
yeah, no one's saying, oh, are they not bringing back Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin? Why is he not coming back? No, no
Well, we
interest.
don't know
No.
yet.
He might, yeah.
Maybe he is.
I'm picturing the scene in the cinema where Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin comes in right at the end and makes up the sixth member of the Sinister Six, and every casual fan and girlfriend in the screen just turns around at the same time and says, "Who's that? Are we supposed to know who he
It's
is?"
like they haven't got Harry Osborn right either. It's like, oh, too cool. No, that's too weird the other way. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Timothée Chalamet is who people are. That's who the fans are interested in now, which is I think is a good shout.
Didn't he come out there around the time Dune was coming out saying, "Oh, somebody told me never to star in a superhero movie. That it's not good for your career," or something like that.
No,
No, did he?
He seems like one of those.
Oh,
type.
God.
well, it can't
I
have
have
been.
to say,
Robert
I was
Downey Jr.
impressed by that guy. When I saw the
Mm.
first trailer for Dune, it was kind of like, ooh, he looks a bit ropey. I can't see him pulling it off. But he did. Like, fair play to the actor, he did.
He was in. What
Ringy's-
film was he in? The King or something. He was
Yeah,
brilliant. in it.
it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, he was really good in it.
He says, "I think
Can't-
Venom will show up." Ooh.
Well, no spoilers.
Till Thursday morning when I'm going to hit the internet.
Oh, we have another dodgy fucker.
Yeah, I did. All the chats are getting laced with them lately for some reason.
You know, you're getting somewhere and you're getting bots.
Well,
You've
that's
made
it.
it.
You know, you've made it when you're getting botted at.
I'm a YouTuber now. I really want Vulture to come back as a sixth member. Like,
You know, he's in the Lego sets.
yeah, but usually, like, there has been Lego sets in the past that have characters that have never come to fruition in the movies
Yeah.
because they had a proper Mandarin in one of the Iron Man 3 sets, and we didn't get a proper Mandarin until Shang-Chi. Controversial. Ringy says Dune was absolutely shite.
Ooh. Right, I'm going to pop out, Brian. I want to give up the bedroom. I'll
hassle,
continue
buddy.
on chatting to you in the chat. But it's lovely to meet you all, and Mick, I look
No
forward to
problem,
going
dude.
to your
Thanks for coming
place.
by.
See you later.
Yes.
See you later.
See you at my
Connor.
place.
Okay,
Connor.
take care, Connor.
Bye-bye. See you, Jonathan.
But yeah, I'm going to finish up soon anyway because I have the work in the morning. North
very
King
nice.
Jedi, or give us fucking Scorpion. All right,
Scorpion would be
don't be so
interesting, yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah. Can't really fuck a
I'd
scorpion.
like to see a proper Scorpion and a proper Rhino.
The guy that was playing, was it Matt Gargan in the Homecoming? He could be
Yes.
a decent Scorpion. He was Vass, wasn't he, in Far Cry 3? He was the motion capture actor for him.
I think you're right there, Brian, but I haven't played Far Cry 3.
The only good one.
Yeah. Well, the first one, I'm one of the few people who actually liked the first Far Cry when I
I
was
played
by
I
Cytec.
played the first one as well on PC, ridiculously hard.
Yeah. But it was a great game. Like, it was mind-blowing
Yeah.
at the time.
I think we need to engage with this Dune bashing in the
yeah,
comments.
he says it looked and sounded good, was boring as fuck. I think that's because it's halfway through the story though.
That
because
was the big thing about it, wasn't it? Like I was listening to
I-
people as I was leaving.
I haven't read the books now, or I haven't seen any of the other films either. Like, so it was new to me. But I don't know. I did like it. I wanted to see more of what happened.
I think it was the sudden stop, the way that it
Mm.
doesn't even feel like the movie is about to end, and then suddenly it's credits, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Fine, you should read the books. They're crazy. They're proper crazy. You like up to book 3, it's all just like it's a high science fiction, and after book 3, it's like someone just took all the LSD and then
Mental.
just went.
So-
Like, it's
Oh,
proper
Stephen King
mental stuff.
book then.
way more mental.
Oh,
Brian,
no,
have you
no,
ever
no.
wondered if someone could become a big giant worm?
Yeah.
If you've ever wondered that, you can read some of the later books.
And that's the sanest part of it. Then
Yeah.
it gets into all the background characters and mentats and the alien AIs and it's pure craziness, absolute craziness.
Nice. Where are we? Damien says Shocker return and upgrade suit has to be on cards. I actually forgot there's still a Shocker guy on the loose as well in there, and a Tinkerer with the Vulture. So they could all come back. So I don't know, like if all these guys come back, we're going to be running the risk of this being mad shit altogether.
The famous Sinister 9 or 10 ish. Sinister, that doesn't matter. Stop counting. The Sinister lads.
Yeah, but wasn't Shocker just whichever dude had the Shocker gun? Basically,
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, you're dead, right? You have the gun now.
It
Just
was.
don't piss me
It
off.
was the second guy actually was Herman Schultz, though, wasn't he? The second guy who got it. But Bokeem Woodbine, was it? That Nate killed with a bus.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he just got thrown into a bus, and then we didn't hear from him again for the whole rest of the film. We didn't see him going to jail.
Ringy, we can all be giant worms if you just identify as one. Norse King Jedi says, I'd love a Shocker return. I always thought he was an underrated villain. My main memory of him is Spider-Man smashing the shit out of him in that animated series in the 90s when he became Venom, or he had the Venom suit, sorry. He was like, Shocker!
in the bell tower. That's iconic scene from that series. Right, I'm gonna head off too.
Righto.
Thanks, guys. I will probably stick around in the chat for a little while as well, but a pleasure talking to you, and I will catch you next week.
Thank you very much for hopping on, Mick.
No
Yeah,
worries
nice
at all.
to meet you.
You too, Jonathan. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sinister 359.
That's the next Sony one. The Bokeem Woodbine. So yeah. What else was I going to talk about? So that's pretty much it. Like covered mostly everything. Tubbs must have been abducted by his children and tied up or something because
I fell asleep.
No, I think they were getting sick and stuff, so he had to look after them. So yeah, again.
Another reason not to have kids.
No kids. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on as well, Jonathan. You're a star.
Oh, a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Everybody else. And when the other two boys are here next week, feel free to come on as well and jostle with them. That could be fun too. But yeah, let's leave it there for this week. Everyone in the chat, thank you for coming on as well. Connor says 6 characters for every Spider-Man. Oh God, Sinister 18. Damien says they're dropping life flies. Been fun all. All right, so guys, have a great week. And remember, if you haven't already, go to my competition on the video just before this one. I have a link here somewhere. And yeah, join the competition there. Just comment below. And we'll see you next week. Next week, I will be announcing the competition winners live on here. I'll be doing the live stream and see who wins it. And yeah, so thanks again, Jonathan. We'll see you later, dude. And thank you to everyone in the chat. Have a great week and bye.
I'll see you all next week.
Good luck.